Imagine waking up tomorrow and having to start completely from zero. No strength, no skills, and no plan. That's exactly how I started with calisthenics. I had no idea how to make progress, which exercises were the right ones, and even where to begin. Maybe you have been there too, scrolling through social media and watch people effortlessly do muscle up, handstands, and planches, and you just wonder, how am I ever going to get there? The truth is, most beginners actually make the same mistakes. They start without a plan, jump exercise to exercise, immediately chase the crazy skills and completely ignore the basics. And eventually they stop seeing progress, or burn out, or even get injured. That's why I'm making this video. I want to show you step by step how I would exactly start with calisthenics if I had to do it all over again. So as a beginner, I would definitely start with an upper and lower body split, meaning that in one time you train your lower body, so your quads and your hamstrings for example, and at one time you train your upper body, for example your triceps, shoulders, back, and the other muscle. And of course you can, for example, train 4 times a week, meaning 2 times lower body and 2 times upper body. But if you don't have enough time, you can also train 1 time lower body, 1 time upper body, and 1 time both. And for the first month, I would definitely try to focus on the basics, such as push-ups, dips, and pull-ups. And like after 1 or 2 months, you can start doing skills. Then I would recommend to do one skill that targets the push muscles, such as handstand, and one that targets the pull muscles, such as a front lever. Okay, and now you probably ask yourself, how am I exactly going to work out? Because now you know what you can do, but not which exercise exactly. So I'm just going to give you an example workout. Of course, you can modify it as you want, but this is just an example. So let's start with the leg workout. And as you have already probably heard, training legs in calisthenics actually not so easy, but there are still some great exercises that you can do. And first of all, you of course have to warm up approximately 5 to 10 minutes. Firstly, I would train the quads, and here we'll do 2 exercises. The first one should be some kind of squat, for example pistol squats, split squats, or just normal squats. And for your second exercise, I would choose some kind of isolation exercise, for example reverse Nordic curls or sissy squats. Then for your glutes, you can do hip thrusts, you can do one leg hip thrusts. Okay, so let's continue with our upper body workout. For the start, of course, you have to warm up again approximately 5 to 10 minutes. Then I would start with the skills, because here you have enough strength to do them the right way. You could do something like a handstand or a front lever, but you can also start with an easier movement such as the frog stand. Then I would continue with dips, a great push exercise for triceps, shoulder, and chest. Then I would switch to a pull exercise, because now we can rest our push muscles. And for pull exercise, I would do pull-ups, because in my opinion they are definitely the best pull exercise of all. Now we can switch back to a push exercise to rest our pull muscles, and we want now to focus on our shoulders, and there's actually a great exercise in calisthenics for that, the pike push-ups. After we have done them, we can switch back to a pull exercise, and here I would do something like rows or an Australian pull-up. They are similar to normal pull-ups, but they target more something like the upper back. Additionally to the push workout, I would do archer push-ups, because they are a very good way to target the chest, and you can isolate the chest a bit more than just with normal push-ups. Then to finish the workout, I would do something like chin-ups, because then you can focus on your biceps and your back at the same time. This should take you about 1 hour, but not much longer. And I forgot to mention something for the lower body and the upper body workout. I would try to do 2 to 3 sets of every exercise, depending on how much power you have, and I would do approximately 6 to 15 reps for each exercise.